All right, so this is Black Adam, starring Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, the newest DCEU film. I liked the Suicide Squad. I liked the Batman. So at least film-wise, the DCEU has been doing some good stuff. Even though, it is a mess over there, Warner Brothers, with this stuff. A mess. But whatever. It's been kind of divisive, I guess. I guess some critics have liked it, some critics haven't, and people have defended it and things like that. I'm gonna say how I feel about it right off the bat. I think it's a piece of fucking garbage. I did not like it at all. There were some elements I did like, but for the most part, I sat there just wanting it to be over. It's directed by, I can't say this name, Juan Colette Serra, whatever. So the story, 5,000 years ago, this city, I can't remember what it was called. The people are enslaved by a tyrant king that's looking for some mineral or something, some magical mineral to make a crown so that he can get demon powers or something like that. So Teth Adam, played by Dwayne Johnson, that's before his name, I guess, becomes Black Adam in this movie. He gets the powers, pretty much the same powers as Shazam. Jimon Hansu's character is even in this. So lightning and things like that. And he goes to take out the tyrant king, and there's an explosion and things like that. So 5,000 years have gone by. Nobody knew what happened to him. Sarah Shahi, she's trying to find that crown from way back when, because that city has been taken over again. This time by some insurgency group, some soldiers. So she's going after the crown, and she almost gets killed. But then she says Shazam and summons Teth Adam, or Black Adam. He saves her and then just demolishes that group that was going after them, right? It was like 3 people, and there was like a whole group in a tank and all that had pulled up. Anyway, so after that, the Justice Society that has a group of superheroes. It's Hawkman, Dr. Fate, Cyclone, and Atom Smasher. They are sent out there. Amanda Waller's also involved. They go out there to essentially, take him out, or take him prisoner, because they feel like he's just too powerful to be out there doing things freely. So positives. You got Aldous Hodge, plays Hawkman. I really liked him. He's my favorite character in this. I thought he did a great job. Him and Pierce Brosnan as Dr. Fate. I like them, and I like their interactions with each other. You can definitely tell that they've known each other for a while. They have a certain camaraderie between the two. They've definitely been good friends for a bit, and they have a pretty good relationship. So I like them. There's even emotional moments, towards the end with those two, that I actually kind of liked. They don't feel completely earned because this movie's written badly, but I did like them. Hawkman and Black Adam have this pretty good dynamic where they don't only fight physically, they fight ideologically as well. So Black Adam will just be destroying everything. He first shows up, he melts a guy's skin and flesh off and throws his skeleton away. Takes somebody's arm off, sets someone on fire, and has them fall into their death. The dude is, he's just a monster. So you have Hawkman, who's the good guy in this, the hero, that's against him killing people. He's like, hey, you need to stop doing that, right? And Black Adam's like, I don't give a fuck, right? I'm not gonna let them go forward and do more bad shit. I'm just killing them. Right? Dude is a savage. And I did appreciate that they did go the extra mile on the violence. That's it. That's all I got. This movie is embarrassing on so many levels. It really isn't a movie when you come down to it. It's poorly written. It's underwritten. Most of the characters are bland and flat. It's not even a good movie from like a technical aspect, and we'll get back to that. It feels like a kid playing with their superhero toys and just coming up with whatever story they can come up with to smash them together and to just destroy everything around them. That's basically what it is. If you saw a video of just like when this movie on DVD or whatever, of just the fight scenes, you've essentially seen the movie. It's barely written. Cyclone and Atom Smasher. Atom Smasher can grow. Cyclone could use the wind or whatever. Their characters weren't all that great. They're kind of flirting back and forth. Maybe there's a romance that's gonna build at some point. You don't care. The kid is annoying as fuck. He loves superheroes. He's always telling Black Adam, can you do this? Can you do that? Can you do this? How about a catchphrase? It's not funny. It's not charming in any way. The kid is annoying. I did not care for that kid at all. It's just There's nothing to this but just action scenes, just them smashing and banging with powers, and that's it. This is what superhero movies have devolved into, right? Just seeing the comic book characters on the screen in live action, these actors in costumes and just smashing into each other, and that's it. I mean, it felt like a Zack Snyder film, right? I remember somebody had that same criticism of Batman v Superman, that it feels like he's just playing with toys. It feels like that. Mute the colors, take the forced comedy, because there's so much comedy because they're copying the Marvel formula like a motherfucker, especially with that post-credit scene. Um, take those two elements out, it feels like a Zack Snyder movie. I mean, it even has the pointless slow-mo. I mean, it's straight up Zack Snyder level stuff where it's like, yeah, on a superficial level, you're seeing explosions and all this other stuff and smash bang and all these other people, these superhero people do this super shit. Um, but there's nothing, you know, really underneath all that story wise, writing wise. I mean, but even Zack Snyder's movies would at least have, would be better technically. I mean, there's bad green screen in this motherfucker. There's a couple shots that are kind of cool, but for the most part, it's shot pretty bland. There's bad ADR throughout. It's just mainly with that kid I noticed, or at least it felt like it was obvious ADR with that kid. I mean, it was just something else. The CGI is fucking so bad. I mean, you got people flying around on things and things like that, but there's points there's points where Black Adam, or 10th Adam, he's not powered up, right? So he still has Dwayne Johnson's head, but it's clearly a skinnier, like a smaller man's body. And it is so fake looking. It looks so bad. I mean, I don't know how that made it into the movie. I mean, it is just that laughably bad. I was laughing, other people were too. And then the villain, who's barely written. I mean, the movie completely forgets about him so these superheroes can smash into each other. So when he comes back, eventually he gets like superpowers or whatever, he turns into a video game villain. If you didn't like the CGI monstrosity that was Steppenwolf, this is even worse. He turns into a Dark Souls villain. I'm telling, like, it looks like from Dark Souls or something like that. It turns into some kind of fucking demon, and it looks so fucking fake. It was it was laughable. It was so bad. I mean, that's really it. I mean, it's just them smashing against each other with powers and things, right? And I liked Hawkman and Dr. Fate, and they have some moments, but for the most part, I just didn't care. I could not wait for this to be over. I was like, why is this 2 hours when you don't really have much of a story here, right? Doesn't even really feel like there's really much of a plot. It's just you got these characters together, and now they're just fighting each other. And that's it. And on a superficial level, maybe you'll like that, but there's nothing underneath the surface other than that. I mean, this is terrible. This is terrible, right? I saw somebody say this was worse than Morbius. I was like, there's no way. It actually is. Morbius is bad, but Morbius still feels like a movie. This is not a movie. I'm honestly telling you, this feels like a child picking up their superhero toys and just playing with them and just smashing them into each other. And maybe they have a little city made out of something or something, and they're just smashing the other characters into it. That's what it feels like. I mean, by the end of it, Black Adam is supposed to be like the protector, whatever. It's kind of a spoiler. The protector of this city. I can't remember what it's called. I think it started with D. I can't remember. By that point, how much of the city is even left? I mean, jeez. I mean, this takes it to a whole nother level. It really does, man. It's just endless. Underwritten, barely anything really going on. Don't really care about the story. Don't really care. Definitely don't care about the villain. Don't care about most of the characters. There's a couple bright spots here and there, and you might, on a superficial level, like the fighting, but that's it, right? I'm telling you more and more, that statement, I think Martin Scorsese said it, where like superhero movies, well, I think he was mostly talking about the MCU, where carnival rides or whatever, more and more that's becoming true. And that sucks because there's so much superhero stuff that it's really gonna add to oversaturation. I don't get it, man. You had something good with the Batman, just grow off of that. I've seen some other people say that. Just do that, because this is trash. And so I'm giving it utter trash. That's my rating. This is the worst superhero movie of the year. I think it's absolute, just it's horrible, horrible garbage. And that's it. We're done.